Oh my god, and welcome back to another episode of the After School Special Club. My name is Chris.
My name's Mary.
And this is your show for video game news, commentary, and stories from our stupid little lives. Coming to you live every Saturday, except we're still not live, and I don't know when we will be. Stop asking.
Yeah, really the requests are going crazy right now.
Yeah.
Our inbox is just flooded with disappointed people.
I have 10,000 emails every day being like, when are they gonna go live?
That's it. It's just one person. It's the same person, 10,000 emails. When are you going to go live?
And it's like, me emailing our email from my personal account.
It's a different way to motivate yourself to do it.
Oh my God, these fans sure are annoying. Oh my God. Well, guys, we're back. It's been quite a week, let me say.
Yes, I am interested in your week.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Should I start?
So maybe we should begin with you.
Oh my God. Okay, so I was going to say I got COVID, but I still have COVID, actually. I tested positive this morning still, so I'm fine. I feel great. I just have a bit of not even congestion anymore, actually. Like yesterday, I was a little more congested, but today, really, physically, I feel fine now. My sore throat's gone. My cough is still sort of there, which you will notice because inevitably when Mary makes me laugh during this episode, I will have a coughing fit following the laugh. So be prepared for that. Yeah, it was quite a journey. First of all, I'll say I wasn't like super sick. It started last Sunday. So I went to bed feeling like really, like I was just like really hot and like my back was a little bit sore and I was like, that's weird. And like,
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, I'll like walk through the steps because it was like a 3-course meal. Like my symptoms rolled out over the week. It was really strange.
The 10-step program for COVID.
No, literally, like I've never So first of all, I don't ever get sick. Like
this is true.
Like Mary's known me for 6 years and I've never been like sick before. And when I do get sick, like it's never super bad, but I've never experienced developing symptoms as the sickness progresses. Like I feel like I've had the flu one time and like I've had colds and whatever. I feel like it's always like everything's onset at once and then you just get better. But this was like since Sunday, like every day it was like a new symptom. It was so weird. So it started with like a fever. And I kid you not, like by midnight that night, my fever was 102.
Oh, that's so high.
Yeah, I was just like radiating heat. And I actually at first I actually thought that maybe I had like sun poisoning because I sat in the sun for a long time that day. And I was radiating heat. So I was like, oh, maybe like I got like a really bad sunburn and I'm feeling sick.
Yeah.
So I had that. I had aches. And then of course I had like super bad chills. And so I was like, well, I have, at home tests. I'll see what I'll see. And then I was positive and I was like, of course. So that was like Sunday and a little bit of Monday. And then by Tuesday, like my fever was gone and I was still a little bit sore and achy, but then I started getting the sore throat and I started getting a cough. And those were my next two symptoms since like Tuesday through maybe like yesterday. I had the sore throat and the cough, and now I just kind of have the cough. And like I developed congestion in the middle of the week, which is now more or less gone. And then either yesterday on Friday or 2 days ago is when I lost my taste and my sense of smell. So like I'm not super congested anymore. Like you can hear I'm like I can breathe through my nose. But I can't taste or smell anything. Like I'm drinking a Diet Pepsi and I don't know why, because I'm like, I can't taste it.
Does it just taste like like a seltzer water? Just like carbonated water?
Well, it doesn't taste like anything. It's just like a sensation, like a cold, bubbly. Yeah, it's weird.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
Because even like plain like water and stuff has like a taste somewhat,
true.
But yeah, it's just like nothing. And it's like, there might be like a very minor like background taste of stuff. Like I've noticed that when I'm eating, like especially things that are spicy or like really acidic or like vinegary, like there's definitely more of a sensation there because it's so strong. But otherwise, I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't taste anything. I can't smell anything. So that's the weirdest part.
Man, that is so strange. I wonder if you eat like super spicy food, like atomically spicy food, if this is your superpower, or
Oh.
if it's going to hurt and then you're not going to get the added benefits of tasting something good. So
I just end up I just end up eating stuff that's so spicy that I just like burn away all my taste buds again, and I have to wait even longer for my taste to come back.
you're like, let's take this the most it can go. Let's take this, like, let's race this till the end. Oh my God. It's like the symptoms, the onset of the symptoms. That's so interesting. It's like you're reading down like the WebMD page and you were like bullet point. You were like, ah. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's super weird. But yeah, that's pretty much been my week otherwise. So, because I haven't been able to do anything. So
I'm glad you're safe.
yes.
I'm very happy that you're feeling better. I hope your taste and smells come back very soon.
One day.
Yes, it is going to be one day. But until then, I say you use this power for good. And it's a superpower that you have. Now you can just eat whatever bland food, healthy food, right?
True. And get super
Everything's gonna
fit and
taste
healthy.
the same. Yeah, this is your time. Your body doesn't know what's going on. It's like
It's like
you're like shoving just like just pure like greens, like vegetables. That's all you're eating. Your brain's thinking like, I don't know, this might be meat. I don't know, this might be cheese. I don't know. I can't taste anything.
who knows? I know. I was thinking that
Yes.
I was like, I should totally just like eat a bunch of like really healthy food. And you know what I should do? I should eat, like I should use this opportunity to like break habits of not eating food that I don't like. Like, because what is it? It takes like 14 tries of something to actually know if you like eating it or not, or something like that. So I'm like, I should just take everything that I normally like hate eating and just eat it en masse while I can't
Sweet
taste
potatoes.
it. And then once I can taste it again, I'll be like, oh, you know what? Raw tomatoes are actually great.
And you just become a raw tomato, sweet potato man.
Yep.
You're
Oh,
like,
gross.
I'll take sweet potato, please. Every meal. I'm like, it's overkill, Chris.
You're like, Chris, are you okay? You're like, wow, COVID really
Is that
did you in.
You have a raw sweet potato, you just bite into it like an apple. Nutrition.
But yeah, that was
That is
pretty
interesting.
much my week. So
Yeah.
how was your week?
Well, my week has been less eventful, I would say. It's actually been so less eventful that I don't remember how my week actually went. And I can't believe that we're recording today. I just felt like we recorded yesterday.
I know.
But my week has been good for the most part. I have been really into the new set. Magic the Gathering just dropped a new set this week, this Friday, actually. So yesterday. And it's the Double Masters. So it's all of the really pricey, like powerful cards in Magic. And it's all reprints. So it's all just like cards that have been really popular for a long time. And a lot of them, there was a lot of cards that were high, like insanely high price, like online, the market for it. And now since this came out, like the reprint, it's dropped the price a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been trying to play the stock market with Magic a little bit and get some deals on some cards that I've been wanting for a while that I just couldn't afford at the time. Because it's really hard to justify spending like $80 on a card.
Right.
Or like $100 on one card.
Yeah.
Like, because when you think about it, my brain always does this. I love Magic the Gathering. It's a game that helps me in my mental capacity, helps me, socially. It's done so much for me. But every time that I purchase a physical card, all I can think of is, this is cardboard.
I just spent $50 on cardboard.
I just spent $50 on cardboard that somebody's going to be like, that's a real one or that's a fake one.
Right.
And then in the same vein, I'm like, why don't I just play with all proxies? But that's very looked down upon.
Right.
And
I would imagine.
in mostly like all settings, especially competitive. Like competitive, you can't play proxies. You need to have real cards.
Yeah, they'll snipe you on sight if they catch you.
Yeah.
From what I've heard.
Like, it's like, she didn't spend $100 on that card. She spent nothing.
She spent nothing.
Nothing at all. Shoot her.
Shoot her.
Yeah. So, But anyway, I've been doing that, and I did get some good prices.
Mm-hmm. Yay.
And I've been playing a lot of a game, which I'll talk about later when we talk about games we've been playing. But I've been playing a lot of it, like a lot. Like I take it to work, that kind of thing. It's kind of like my go-to. It's like my safety blanket right now that I just curl up into. And other than that, nothing. I'm a blank slate.
Nada.
I'm a little sprout.
Just growing in the sun.
Just growing, hoping for more sun. Rain. I need some rain.
I need water. Oh God, that was me this whole week. Like,
That's how you literally sounded?
Well, no. Well, on the second or third day, yes. I actually was like, but I have never drank so much water in my life. Like, I have one of those, you can't see it. I have one of those 32-ounce mason jars, and I would drink like 4 or 5 of those in a day.
Nice. Well, it's good. You needed the water. Your body
I needed to be
it.
water. Yeah, because like I was just like so dehydrated. And then I was also like nervous because I know like with respiratory stuff, if you're not hydrated, it's harder for your lungs to clear mucus, and that's how you get pneumonia. So I was like, we are not going down that route. So I was like, water.
Productive. That's a productive kind of being sick.
Yeah, I was like, fuck this. Like, we're getting better and we're doing it right now.
That's the most adult sickness. Like, that's adulting.
Yeah, because like after like the first few days when I was just like lounging around because I couldn't do anything else, I was just like, okay, enough of this. Like, so. And like, luckily now, like I have my energy back and I'm able to do this, and I'm back to writing. So, because I had to slack the editor in chief and be like, hey, I have COVID. I don't know if I can meet my my minimum this week because like I can't like get out of bed. And he was like, oh, it's fine. Like, just rest. Like, you can take the week off. And I was like, cool. And then I messaged him like yesterday or whatever. And I was like, hey, like, I'm actually a lot better now. Like, I'm going to try to write. So I wrote yesterday, and I'm going to try to write something today, maybe one more thing tomorrow, because my minimum is 3 articles a week. So
that's right. That's good though.
Yeah.
What if he would have said like, no?
He's like, do you want this job or not?
And you're like,
I'm like, whoa.
Not expecting that kind of energy.
Oh my God. And I also washed my hair today. I took a little shower.
Is this like the first time you've been able to like do that since you've got sick?
I did it like once, and it was really hard because it was like day 3. So I was still really weak.
Yeah.
So I just got in and like rinsed. But today I like showered, scrubbed, washed my face.
That always feels good.
And I was like, wow, I'm a real human adult again.
I feel like a new person. A nude person.
A nude person, I was.
But I only shower with my clothes on. And a bathing suit underneath my clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a shower cap over your whole body.
Yeah, yeah. And just like a face mask, because I want to be safe.
Yeah. From the terrors of the water chamber.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, it's been 13 minutes and 33 seconds. Should we get into the news?
333. Yes, we shall get into the news. The power of 3.
All right. So last week we talked about, kind of on a tangent, I brought up them recreating Crisis Core. And
yes,
as I may or may not have mentioned last week, it is one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. I love Zack. I love the additional world building that story adds to the Final Fantasy VII narrative, the OG Final Fantasy narrative, I should clarify. And so I was just like, I've been super stoked that they're redoing Crisis Core. And so after our conversation, I think a couple days later, IGN actually published an article where they interviewed the director, Yoshinori Kitase. And so I wanted to kind of summarize some of what they talked about in that article, because it put my heart at ease. So, yeah. So I have, according to a recent interview with IGN, the newly announced Crisis Core remaster will be faithful to the original game. So I know we had kind of talked a little bit about whether or not we thought that they would tweak the actual narrative of Crisis Core in order to have it serve the new narrative of the remake of Final Fantasy VII. But according to this article, they're going to keep it actually pretty faithful. So there's a whole bunch of changes that they are adding, but they are not really touching the narrative at all. They're going to keep it pretty much the same, which is really exciting. So some of the changes that they're going to include in the game are an overhaul of graphics using Unreal Engine 4, a newly arranged soundtrack, as well as combat changes. So obviously Crisis Core was originally on PSP, so graphics to this day standards are very low. So
I don't know. I get my PS5 and my PSP at the same time, and I'm like, they're the same.
You're like, wait a second, these look exactly the same. I don't know what you're talking about.
Identical. Yeah.
So yeah, they're going to implement those changes, and then they're also having combat changes. So they're going to make Zack's attacks linkable, is what they described in the article, which if I recall correctly, I don't think that there were combos, as weird as that sounds. Like, I think it was just every swing was like a disjointed attack. I could be wrong, but
that's what sparks my memory.
Yeah. So they're going to have linkable attacks, and then they're also going to allow the limit breaks to be available at any time. Because I don't know if you remember, but they had this DMW system, which was that like slot machine mechanic in the top left corner, where they would spin throughout battle, and if you got 3 characters, you had like a cutscene, and then I think you had like your limit break, or you had to I don't remember the specifics of the mechanic, but it was something along those lines. And so they're keeping that feature in, but they're going to change the battle system a little bit, in that you're going to actually be able to trigger limit breaks probably in the same way that you do in the Final Fantasy VII remakes, I would assume. But obviously that remains to be seen. And then speaking of that DMW feature, players will now also be able to skip the cutscenes that were associated with it, because originally, again, when it landed on all 3 characters, you would get like a cutscene of that character and then whatever attack that you would get. So you can actually skip those now, which I think is a great addition to the battles. So
they know that we don't have time anymore.
Right.
They're like, these people don't have time to play games.
These people who are trying to play these games are now almost in their 30s, and they don't have time.
Yeah.
They work soulless jobs trying to spin the wheel of capitalism. So
let's quicken this wheel. That's what they verbatim said.
Which I appreciate. It's kind of like when they, with all of the like Kingdom Hearts remakes, added the cutscene skipping to the first game, because originally Kingdom Hearts 1 you couldn't skip cutscenes. Kingdom Hearts 2 you could, though.
Oh yeah, I remember trying to replay the first one, going like, "Dear Lord above, please let me skip this."
Myself. In terms of graphics, kind of like I mentioned before, all of the assets are getting a complete overhaul, and this is insane. So the game is going to target 120 frames per second on PC, which ouch. And then 60 frames per second on PS5, obviously, and Xbox Series X/S.
Wow. Dang.
Well, dang.
There.
I know. And so overall, the Crisis Core remaster is being called just that instead of a remake, because they're going to keep it faithful to the story. And Kitase warns that fans shouldn't be expecting any new story content like the remake of Final Fantasy VII. So it seems like they're really going to continue to use it as a way to bolster the actual like plot and world building of the Final Fantasy VII remake. So that's really interesting to me, because again, just with the direction they're going with 7 right now, it will be interesting to see if they're not changing like Crisis Core and the history of like Cloud and his character and his relationship with Zack. Like, if none of that is changing, I'll be curious to see. I'm even more curious now to see the narrative direction of the 7 remake, because I'm just kind of like, well,
Well, I do like the fact that it's going to be a quality of life change instead of a remake for it, because I was concerned about that just because of all the issues and problems that I think the remakes do have.
Right.
But I love playing the game because the game is great. So I think playing Crisis Core is going to be a really good experience, in that you kind of get to experience like the original again, but better. You know?
Right.
And that's what the most That's the best part of it. And I feel like, I think because it is a standalone game, like it was from the original, maybe that's why like they're just thinking like, let it be a standalone thing. We're not going to mess with it. It can be its own entity.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really going to affect the remakes that we're making, like Final Fantasy Rebirth,
right,
or any of the ones that follow. So maybe that's kind of where their head is right now, which is smart. I think that's smart.
Yeah.
Because you get the people that are really big fans of Crisis Core, and you're telling them right away, like before it comes out, like this is what it is. This is the expectation. And I think that's really great for them to be transparent with that and not let it kind of like sit and wonder, until the release day and everyone's like, whoa, they changed so much. No,
right.
I think it's a really smart decision by them.
Yeah. And like, yeah, kind of like I was saying, I will be curious to see like, again, just which elements of the original Final Fantasy VII they keep in the narrative going forward with the remakes, and what things they do continue to change. And also, again, like we're only one game in, there's still 2 more games. We don't know how this is all going to pan out. And so, as much as I didn't really like what they were doing with the narrative in the first game, I am excited to see how that's going to change over the course of these next 2 games, and, just see where things go. Yeah. Because I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on.
It's going to end up being, just knowing me and the fact that like I had so many opinions about the first remake, the next 2 are going to like blow my mind. I'm like, it's better than the original.
Oh my God, please no.
Fight me, bro. It's better than the original.
But also same, like you and I have been both so vocal against the narrative of the first game. Just watch like the next 2 games are going to be so good, and we're both going to be like, whew.
And then the third one's going to like transition. There's going to be a transition scene, and it's just Final Fantasy IX remake. And I'm like, this is the best thing I could ever get in my life. Woo! Woot!
Oh my God. I will literally die if there is actually a Final Fantasy IX remake, but I really hope that they don't fuck with the plot.
Yeah, the plot's got to stay the same with 9, because the 9 is very sensitive to the plot. Like if you change the plot, you change the whole game.
Yeah.
Like, entirely. And I was thinking like, because that chibi mobile Final Fantasy 7 that's coming out. I wonder if like that's what we're gonna get for Final Fantasy 9, like just a chibi mobile game.
God, I really hope not. Like I would just love to see like PS5 Final Fantasy 9. Oh, can you imagine?
Let's manifest it right now. We're manifesting it.
Everybody draw a pentagram. Just kidding.
What?
Light a candle. Light a candle.
Don't manifest that. Don't manifest that. That's gonna come after you. There's movies about that. There are
Grab
movies.
A goat.
Yeah. No, just let's just say I'm excited for the Final Fantasy IX remake that's coming out.
The Final Fantasy IX remake that is definitely going to come out is going to be great. I cannot wait for the Final Fantasy IX remake that is going to come out.
Day one play. PS6.
Easily.
It's going to be PS6, PS5.
But
no one's going to have a PS6. One person is going to have a PS6, and it's not even from Sony. They're not even from Sony.
It's going to be you. You're going to be like, oh, they released PS6 on my birthday again.
Yeah, so I got it. And everyone's like,
so I got it. Like it was so effortless for you.
I'm like, yeah, it kind of was a little bit. But my anxiety was peaked the whole time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because I was like, I remember buying it. Sorry, tangent. We'll get back to the news in a bit. I remember when I got the PS5 and I had it in my cart, and I was freaking out because all the articles at the time were saying like people that have bought the PS5, added it to their cart, paid for it, are suddenly going without it. And now they get emails saying, sorry, we're out of stock, even though you bought it. And I kept thinking, I was like, that's going to be me. But no, it was fine. It like worked out perfectly. I sent an email to the customer service at the store that I was buying it from. And I was like, just making sure this is going to be in stock. I have it, right? I was like, I have this. Like, you have it on record that I have this. And he was like,
they're like, what?
Yeah, no, but he was really nice. He was like, yeah, of course. It says right here, like, you're going to get it, like this date. And I'm like, huh. And I was like, I got it on my birthday. And then he was like, oh, your birthday? He gave me a gift card for a game I bought. I was like, that's so cool.
Wait,
He was
that's
like,
awesome.
happy birthday. Yeah, he's like, because he knew about the PS5 shortage and he was like, yeah, you're lucky. Happy birthday. I was like,
You're like, wow, for me?
wow,
Okay.
game changer. Yeah. That was the peak of my life. That was peak. That was the peak.
Yeah, honestly.
Peak. Yeah.
Oof, I still can't believe that I finally got one.
I was so happy.
I know. I had to buy a bundle, which is fine.
Yeah, a bundle of joy.
A bundle of joy. It came with 3 games, 2 of which I'll never play.
And I remember specifically not talking about my PS5 for a long time until you got yours because I didn't want to brag. I was
and
like,
now we're elitists.
Yay!
So easy.
The circle of elitism.
Circle of life. I'm better than you.
Please beg to kiss my ass. Anyway, let's get back to the news.
Anyway, back to the news.
Back to the newsstand. Chris, take it away.
That was pretty much it in terms of my Crisis Core little write-up here. I wanted to end it with a quote from Kitase himself. He says, with the Final Fantasy VII remake, it was a new starting point for Final Fantasy VII, and so we decided to expand the story. But with the Crisis Core reunion, it's a remaster, and it's still positioned as a story that expands on the original Final Fantasy VII story. And so we didn't want to stray too far from that.
It's great.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Nay, indeed.
But that was it. I just want to talk about it because I love that game so much.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited.
Coming in winter of this year. No specific release date yet, but winter is coming.
It's going to be November 9th when they were
on the same day as God of War.
Same day God of War, Ragnarok, yeah. They're like, this is a good day, right? November 9th? They're like, what's happening that day? And they're like,
I feel like something big is happening. Something big is happening. I can't.
And then
I just don't know.
Person's like, no. Christmas is next. That's next month.
That's next month.
You're thinking of that. There's nothing that's happening November 9th.
Yeah, 12 days of Christmas. No, 12 days of giving thanks.
Yeah, ship it.
Ship it.
Ship it. But speaking of God of War Ragnarok, I know that you said that you haven't watched the collector's edition video.
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, so there's an unboxing on the PlayStation blog website right now. And I keep rewatching it. I think I've rewatched it like 3 times. Because A, I am excited for the game. B, I'm excited for like things like limited edition stuff I'm a sucker for. I'm like, FOMO, feeling and missing out. Like I really want it. Even if I don't even necessarily like whatever it is, I'm like, I need to have it.
Right.
But this is like, I like it. Plus it's cool. But basically it's a video of the voice actor of Thor and the Santa Monica studio art director. And they basically take you on a tour of both of the boxes. So they do the collector's edition, but they also do the, I'm trying to get the name of it right now. I'm trying to pull it up right here. The Jotnar edition. So there's the 2 editions. And the Jotnar edition looks dope. It looks dope. And there's a lot of stuff in here. So basically, the digital deluxe edition has the full God of War Ragnarok game, Kratos' Darkdale armor, Atreus' Darkdale attire, cosmetic, Darkdale blades handles for the Blades of Chaos, Darkdale axe grip for the Leviathan axe, official God of War Ragnarok digital soundtrack, which is kind of that's really because the soundtrack is amazing. Dark Horse digital mini art book, Avatar set, and PlayStation 4 theme. That's interesting that it's a PlayStation 4 theme. Yeah. But anyway.
Because PlayStation 5 doesn't have themes, right?
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
I just realized that. Hey, wait a minute.
we're being gypped up. We want themes back.
Wow, I just realized that because I was like, oh yeah. So my PlayStation 4, I have the control theme that came with the deluxe edition, and it's really cool. I'm never getting rid of it. Oh
yeah. It's really good. But this video is just so funny because they're unboxing it, right? And the music, they have the God of War music in the background. So it's very serious, Norse, soundtrack. And I've noticed that like sometimes like in video game things specifically, there's a lot of awkwardness sometimes. And I think just the awkwardness combined with like what they're talking about in the music, like swelling and like getting more dramatic and more dramatic. And they're like just showing these little pieces of like wooden tokens to the camera. And they're like, wow, beautiful. And he sets it
It's
down.
it's like a makeup tutorial. He's
yes, it's like a home shopping network, like them showing off to the camera.
Yeah.
But the Jotnar edition, so you get a printed voucher code for the full God of War Ragnarok game. So you don't get a physical copy of the game.
Oh, interesting.
But they do give you a steelbook display case for the game. But they don't give you the game.
So you just get an empty DVD
yes,
case?
Yes, you get an empty DVD case. But the beautiful artwork. Beautiful artwork. When I saw, again, that made me crack up.
No way.
Yeah, I'm serious. It's like, yeah, because so these are the insides of that. So basically the Jotnar edition comes with the collector's edition. Like all that comes with the Jotnar edition, but there's extra stuff in that. So it's more expensive and it's bigger. But so it's a printed voucher code for the full God of War, Ragnarok. For the full God. For the full God. The gods smile upon me. A 7-inch vinyl record with music by Bear McCreary, which is cool. The Falcon, Bear, and Wolf pin set, so representing Faye, Kratos, and Atreus respectively, this pin set symbolizes our heroes' families. So the pins are actually really pretty. And I'm a pin sucker.
I suck on pins.
That sounds like a really bad insult, by the way. You pin sucker.
You pin sucker.
Sounds like a 1950s insult.
Hey, come here, you pin sucker.
Pin sucker.
I'll suck it to you.
So they come with the pins, and also the legendary Draupnir ring. So a ring from Norse mythology, the legendary Draupnir ring comes in a red cloth bag.
The actual. It's real.
In the game. They actually took it from the game to give to you.
Yep.
And it's amazing that they've been able to replicate one ring.
So many times.
And then Brock's dice set. So I thought this was really cool because I'm a Magic the Gathering hoe. And, we play with dice a lot of times. So this was actually really interesting because the dice set comes with metallic silver finish with blue detailing. The dice bag features the Halder Brothers brand. So that was kind of cool.
Cool.
And the actual dice are wooden, which I really like.
Nice.
So a lot of the stuff that's in here are wooden. They're woodens.
Are from the woodlands.
Yeah. So this is the other part. So yeah, the steelbook display case, and in parentheses, no game disc included. They need to make sure. And in the video, when he's showcasing the steelbook case, he's like, "Wow, so beautiful." And then he puts it down, and it says on the bottom of the screen, "No disc."
No disc. It's in parentheses, no disc.
No disc. So they also come with 2-inch Vanir twin carvings. So the wooden carvings that were in the game, you can have those. And it comes with the hammer. So a 16-inch replica of the hammer.
Whoa.
Yes. So that was actually really, really cool. And I think of all the collector's editions and all the box sets, because there's a lot that gets released over the years. And the last one that I was excited for was the Last of Us one, which I'm actually wearing Ellie's bracelet from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But this one, I feel like the quality of the art is so well made in this set. And I think it's a beautiful collection for people that are really into this. Personally, I think about it, I'm like, I wouldn't want this for myself just because, I feel like that's too much to spend on things that I'm going to have sit around for a while.
Right.
And then
I don't have space for that.
Yeah, display my God of War hammer. I'm like, look, every time somebody walks in,
put it by my bed.
Like, yeah, look at this. And then I try to call it to me. I'm like, ah. And then somebody else comes in and they call it to them. I'm like, traitor.
I'm like, how dare you?
Yeah. But anyway, I thought that was really cool. I suggest giving that video a watch because it
for the
really
comedy
tickled my fancies.
All of them.
And as sad as I must admit, I was texting you earlier saying another thing that was in the set, which is a lie. There is no Kratos dildo in the set, unfortunately. I know. I was waiting for him to pull it out and just be like, and this is the prize possession of this. It's a steel dick.
Ooh, ow.
No penis included.
No lube included.
No lube included. It's pure steel. Have at it. We know anatomy.
Oh my God.
But anyway, so I want to talk about that just because I was really excited about that, the game coming out, but also that video is funny. Please check it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I will.
Maybe I won't.
No, I will. I want to watch it now.
You're like, actually,
just for the part where it's like no disc.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't seen it because did they just publish it today?
No, I don't know if the one on PlayStation Blog, that's where I watched it again. But I was on Reddit, and it was on Reddit. So that's where I forget when I watched it, but I think it was.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, I mean, because I haven't. So I look at the blog every day because I usually, when I'm looking for stuff to write about, I always start there, obviously, because PlayStation head. So, and I've like taken it upon myself. I told Mary this in confidence, but I was telling her, I was like, nobody else writes about PlayStation. So I've taken it upon myself. Like nobody's asked me to do this. I'm just doing it. I've decided to write about like PlayStation games and PlayStation news, basically.
Fully support this.
Someone has to do it.
Yeah, you have my vote.
So I check the PlayStation blog every time I like log in to start writing. So.
All right.
Okay. Well, that's it for our big topics. Now, I did include what I'm calling tasty tidbits. So these are like little news stories that I found while pulling these other news stories that we spend a lot of time talking about because I think that they're interesting and they're just not things that we can really extrapolate on, but they're worth noting. So the first one that I have is that Bandai sent Let Me Solo Her a sword to commemorate over 1,000 kills of millennia in Elden Ring.
That's so cool. I remember I saw it on Reddit. Again, I'm a Reddit head. I'm a lurker on Reddit.
Me too.
Things. I have posted a few things, but I posted my cat and he got likes. But I feel like the sword itself, because I saw it like on Reddit, like the first picture panned to it, and on Reddit you have to kind of like swipe to get the next pictures. And so I saw like Elden Ring and I saw the box and I saw that and I was like, oh, it's just like a collector's edition. It's just like something they send to fans. You know, somebody got it. And then I slowly started. I was like, oh, this is for him. This is for Let Me Solo Her. That's so cool that they did that. And the little like art that they drew.
I know. I was like, this is so cool. Like, and they totally deserve it because, like, you know, we talked about it before on the podcast, but just like, again, just a great example of like the community that can exist within the gaming sphere and especially within specific games. You know, and he's doing a great thing for people who are like, I can't fucking beat this boss because it's literally like the hardest boss in the game and it's an optional boss.
Yeah, it's like and also From Software, I got to give it to them. Like, they're great.
Yeah, for recognizing them.
Yeah, for recognizing them. Also, I feel like they're really into their fan base and I feel like they listen to their fan base. I feel like there's communication there.
Yeah.
I really respect From Software for that because I feel like they're one of the most consistent when it comes to collaborating with fans and like making sure that they get what they want and those kind of things. So yeah, that was really sweet and really cool. And I wanted it, but he deserved it. That's what
I did nothing to deserve that.
I did not get anywhere near that boss. I can tell you that.
Oh God, no. I haven't played in weeks and I'm still like level 30. So
yeah, I think I'm around level 32 and not 32, around 30.
Okay.
Yes. But I think the last thing I was doing was collecting all the maps and just making sure I have like all of the land taken care of and like know where I'm going. And then after that, I think I explored most of where I could go. And then I went to that area where it's like underground and there's like the stars and those guys that throw the spears, the arrows.
Oh yeah, they're like shrimps.
Oh no, not the shrimps. The
other underground one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the minotaurs.
Yeah.
The bows. Yeah, that level always makes me quit the game. Like,
yeah, it's so frustrating.
Because I'm always like on my horse and like you just can't run away from those guys, no matter how hard you try. And every time I'm just like, well, I'll get back to this later. Later never comes.
And then I don't. I play other games.
Later doesn't come.
And anyway, it never will.
That was a nice, tasty tidbit. Is there another?
Wow.
May I have another?
Yes. And this one is self-serving because it's about a game that is one of my favorite RPGs ever. So it is Valkyrie Profile Lenneth. It is getting a port to PS4 and PS5 in September. So I discovered this by accident. So to me, I'm like, okay, like they don't really do much with like with the Valkyrie Profile series, like it was just 2 games that were like Valkyrie Profile. They have since made like other Valkyrie games that I guess are, I don't know if they're in the same like world or what, but the Valkyrie Profile series was like a series of 2 games specifically. So Valkyrie Profile Lenneth, which came out in 1999 on PS1, and then Valkyrie Profile Silmeria, which came out on PS2 in 2006. Both of those games I adore. They're amazing. Yeah. But they like Square Enix has not touched them, you know, since they came out. I think Lenneth got a PSP port, and that's it. They haven't done anything with Silmeria. You the only way that you can play it is on PS2. Like there's literally no other, or emulated, I guess. But so I was super excited to see that they're going to port it to PS4 and PS5 and make it available in the PlayStation Store. So,
and this is like for the subscription, right? Is this
I think so.
Okay.
Although I don't know, I have to look into the specifics of it because, it actually might not be, because you can get it as a part of a deluxe bundle with the newest Valkyrie game that's coming out in September, Valkyrie Elysium, I think. Yeah. You can do like a deluxe edition bundle, and you'll get the port of Valkyrie Profile Lenneth, and then you'll get Valkyrie Elysium. So it might not be.
I just remember you bringing over your copy of Valkyrie Profile over here. Yeah. And playing it on the PS2. That was fun. That game, the style is so beautiful. And I remember I wanted to play the PSP version so badly when I had a PSP. Yeah. I remember it coming out, and I remember like seeing it at GameStop whenever I would go there. And I'd be like, that's a game I want to play. Like, I don't know why I'm gravitating towards it, because I'm an RPG freak, but also the cover, the art, the style of it. I was like, this game has something that
the
other
soundtrack
RPGs don't have.
For both the first one and the second one, because the one that I brought to your house was the second one. And yeah, just like amazing soundtrack, like super fun, like, you know, pretty good story. And like, I don't know, I just love like, because they're both technically side scrollers. And then in the second game, they introduced like 360 battle. So it's side scrolling, and then when you engage an enemy, you get full like 360 degree range in the battlefield, which is really cool. But yeah, I always loved like the style of it. The gameplay was super fun. The voice acting was but charming.
As long as the voice acting's like funny, like a little bit, like a little humorous, that's worth it for me. I'm playing through Grandia 2 on the PlayStation 2, and the voice acting is atrocious, but it's so funny. Yeah. That it just kind of, I allow it, basically. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I allow it to exist.
The first game actually, and I forgot this, Valkyrie Profile Lenneth is, despite being a PS1 game, it's one of those PS1 games that has voice acting.
Yeah, those were rare.
Right? But like no cutscenes, like, but had well, there were cutscenes, but like, you know, PS1, right? Yeah. So, but there is voice acting, again, really bad. But but like it makes sense, because like even though it was a commercial success, like that was still in the early days of like video game voice acting. So I feel like, you know, they weren't having any like really good actors do it at that point. So
yeah, I mean, now we have Troy Baker and Troy Baker and Troy Baker
and Troy Baker.
Yeah. So how can you compete with that?
You can't.
And he'll let you know that.
Yeah. So those are my tasty tidbits.
Well, they were very scrumptious.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I made them myself.
I'm so full of joy and food.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't need dinner now.
No, I don't need it. I don't need food. I can photosynthesis. I just go out in the sun.
Wow. That's why I'm sitting in front of the window.
Yeah. But anyway, can we talk about what we've been playing?
Oh my God. Yes, let's do it.
Yes, because I have been playing unpacking.
Yes.
Every day. I've unpacked every day.
Every single day.
I get home, I unpack. And that's all I can do. But anyway, I bought it because it was a sale on the Switch, you know, games. There was a big sale. It was like 50% off a lot of games and more than that. And Unpacking was one of the games that was on my wish list, and I just bought it. I was like, it's been out for a while. I've heard a lot of good things. I'm going to play it.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, that game is incredible. It's incredible for anxiety. It's incredible for stress. It's also just incredible, the story and the fact that there is one, and all you do is unpack things.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start to realize like what's going on.
Yeah.
And you start to wonder, and there's so many little details each time you unpack things that you're like, what does this mean? Oh my God, like I'm unpacking this,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like jaw dropping a little bit, like what's going on? It's like a mystery, and the game really pulls you in.
Yeah.
And this is my third playthrough that I'm doing of the game, because I feel like this is the kind of game where I'm going to pick up and play for a while. Just like every odds and end level. But I really appreciate the fact that it is that I can just pick it up and play whenever I want. And it's very fast, does what it needs to do. But yeah, I highly recommend that to anyone who hasn't played it yet. I know it's been out for a while, but Unpacking is a great game.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I've heard nothing but good things about it. So maybe I'll do that after what I've been playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been playing this new horror game called Madison. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I think I've seen like something about it, but I didn't read into it much. Yeah,
so it's been pretty good so far. Like actually kind of spooky. But you're trapped in a house because like when aren't you in a horror game?
Mm-hmm.
And the game sets you up to think like the character that you're playing as has like killed his sister and his mom, because one of the first things because like that exposition that it opens up with is like your dad has like locked you in this room and is like banging on the door and being like, why, like blah blah blah, explain it, blah blah whatever. And then there's like you're searching around the room and there's like a tin with photos of like your mom's leg and your sister's arm.
Damn, that's some serial killer stuff.
Yeah, and so then you kind of like escape through a side thing, and yeah, it's like a puzzle horror game, walking simulator kind of thing. And I thought so, and there's a mechanic of using a disposable camera to take Polaroids of things, and that's how you like alter the world around you to get like clues and to make things happen. And I totally thought it was going to be like Fatal Frame at first.
That's when you said that, I was like, Fatal Frame.
Yeah, no, literally, I was like, oh, camera horror game.
Yeah,
but it's not really like Fatal Frame that much at all. So I was like, okay, cool. The voice acting is really bad.
Love that though. Horror games with bad voice acting, that's just been around.
Yeah, it's just like the kid, like he's annoying. It's not bad like Silent Hill voice acting where you're like, this is great because it's bad. Mm-hmm. It's just like, I want to slap this child.
Maybe that's supposed to add to the horror of it all.
to the effect of the game.
Yeah. I'm pulling up screen grabs of the game, and I love this Golem looking character. There's like a monster legit looks like Gollum, like with like sharp shark teeth. Yeah, he has shark teeth. It's Gollum with shark teeth.
Yeah. I just got to a point in the game where you like get a glimpse of probably what you're looking at right now for the first time. So it's been fun. Like I said, it's a puzzle game. You're trapped in a house. Reminds me of Resident Evil Village. Or not Village, Biohazard.
Biohazard, yeah, I was getting Biohazard vibes. Also, I'm getting PT vibes, definitely like inspired by PT. Which, I mean, every horror game now is probably a little bit inspired by PT.
Right, so it's been good so far. I'll probably try to beat it tonight, because I mean, it can't be more than like 2 hours long, so from what I gauge. But we'll see. Cool,
that's awesome.
That's it.
All right, well, I think that's all we got to talk about this week.
Perfect timing, because Google Hangouts is apparently about to kick us out in 10 minutes. So,
man,
why do we keep getting booted out of the streaming services that we use to talk to each other?
It's just because we just take up so much time with each other, quality time.
Yeah. And there's nothing people hate more than a real solid friendship.
Yeah, people are like, ew. You like to spend time with
gross.
Yeah, so we'll do it again next week.
Yep. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. As always, you can find us anywhere podcasts are available. Please go on iTunes and Spotify, rate us, give us 5 stars, leave a comment. It really helps us out with, boosting our podcast, trying to get out there. We're back on it more consistently, so I think we're going to try to promote ourselves a little bit more and get out there. But You can also watch us on YouTube. Mary will clip all of this together, edit the audio, edit the video, do everything, and upload it to YouTube. So you can also watch it there if you'd like to watch us talk. And that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, it is. And also, like, I just wanted to add to the comments, not only help, us know that you're out there listening and watching, it also helps us know what works and what doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's anything that we can work on or something that you notice that you're like, I wish, more of that was, let us know, please.
Yes.
I love criticism. I welcome it.
Yeah, I thrive.
Constructive criticism, not just criticism.
Yeah, please don't just criticize. I'll cry.
Don't tell me my sweater looks ugly because the
it doesn't.
First off, is amazing, but also don't do that. Just constructive criticism. Be constructive. Yes. That's all.
Please. Oh, please.
Yes.
Pretty please.
But thank you for listening, and thank you for watching or doing both. We really appreciate you.
Yes, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.